for him is a little bit of inconsistency at times, and in big
Agreed.
moments he can struggle. So we'll see if those things work themselves out. But overall, the Party Astronauts have had, way more success as of late than even they did before the whole EG stuff went down, right? Before all of that stuff, it feels like they're on the precipice of something. And I'd say Ben Leet, who's the only remnant of that roster, is on the precipice of something very, very nice. All right.
No doubt about it. And I mean, now, this will be really interesting, like we said. I think Party Astronauts, like we said, for Nuke, it's going to be the BO1, so we'll see what they're going to have a little bit in store. A lot of experience for these guys to be able to find something, but right now, Infinite, oh my good lord, he catches a bullet right to the side of the head, and now he's down to 2 HP, but it's a good entry coming in from Seabass, so they're going to be able to finish the job, and they will, and now, John, they got themselves a sight.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Wolfie is going to try and fight here, and he will not succeed. Grave getting the headshot. Fang hoping to make a little bit of noise here. He gets one. Not the second. Servo, the immediate trade. 4v1 in favor of Take Flight. Ben, the IGL, last one standing, has a couple of pieces of util. Maybe that's worth saving. It doesn't look like he's going to get to the bomb site in time, so trying to make some money with frags, and we'll do nothing of the sort. Seabass, the instant headshot. 1-0 for Take Flight. And we do have to mention that last time these two teams played in Season 47, it was actually pretty close. Excuse me, looking at, I think it was Ancient, their first map, it was a 17-19 overtime loss for Take Flight. And then on Anubis after that, 11-13. So both maps going 24 rounds, and one, of course, going to overtime. This could be interesting. I think the Party Astronauts team was different at that time, though, and indeed, it was Chop and Rush that were part of the roster at the time, which, of course, is no longer the case. It's Infinite, along with Fang, that have replaced those two.
No, 100%. It was just a little bit of a different version of Party Astronauts, but it's definitely a lot of history where I think, Party Astronauts do have the undefeated, realm of it, but some games that have gone the distance. But even right now, like, despite them losing this round, the investment with Wolfie putting the the scout onto the field, he's already been able to make some good damage inflicted onto Servo, so this is a good start already. So now you can see Take Flight kind of just pulling back a little bit more, being a little bit more cautious on this, and I do like it. And now they're going to get ready for the outside smokes, be able to get the wall up so that they can get themselves into secrets. So this is a decent amount of discipline on this one, not overexerting too much early on. But again, they have to be worried. There's a lot of MP9s that are on the plate here, and this could be a little bit of a dangerous recipe.
Yeah, wall of smoke's being set up by one player, which is the luxury of being able to drop the nades, which has been around for a few years now. It feels like it's new, but it was introduced quite a while ago, and it changed the meta of Counter-Strike, along with, of course, the new smokes in CS2. But I digress. 35 seconds left in the round. Take Flight are going to lose another body. That's Wolfie finding it. And they're running out of time to get an execute going. Wolfie can't connect with another one, but the trades go back and forth, and Fang will lose a critical fight. That's Grave finding him. A 2K for him on the round, looking to make it 3. Infinite dodging bullets, goes into the vents. It's the right move, and Infinite finds the headshot. 14 seconds left now. They have to make their way into the bomb site. Infinite dipping and dodging around. Ben will fall, and that will secure the plant. It is up to Infinite to try and clutch this one out.
Oh, man, that was so up to Ben just to be able to find something. But now, you have Infinite. He's live. He's a big player that's able to put up some big numbers. So this is definitely something he's been able to do. But again, the positioning a little bit against him. Yes, Seabass just below him. Zombie just going to be behind Silo, a very strong position. So again, Zombie has to stay alive. This is so important. Infinite just creeping. He's actually fully checked. He will be able to win that engagement, but Zombie, perfect timing. He's going to get the back of Infinite, and they're going to keep themselves at a 2-0. But man, oh man, did they have to fight for that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Party Astronauts made it work quite well with the force buy. Unfortunately for them now, they are going to be on the full eco, maybe with some upgraded pistols. No, what? Okay. They're investing here after a force buy. M4 for Wolfie. I thought he was saving that for an op, but they are risking it right now because of how many bodies went down on Take Flight. I think that's the reason why, right? Because they have an opportunity to potentially punish, even though there's still money for 3 players for Take Flight. Here's the chance. Wolfie with the M4. You don't see him with that very often, usually with the big green. Wolfie spamming away, gets one. Could have an opportunity for a second. There it is. Ben Leet's actually going to be the one to collect it. And now Servo finds a trade. I think Servo thought that an enemy was behind him at one point, shooting at his teammate, but it's okay. 3v3.
Yeah, a little chaotic, but good trades coming back and forth. But again, the HP is low here for Fang, down to 12. So again, a good situation for Take Flight. But now again, just with all this time remaining, they're just gonna again post up, just wait things out. Seabass just looking to see if he can catch a rotator off guard. I really like this. But somebody has to make the play, right? Somebody has to be able to instigate something. I mean, for Party Astronauts, they're doing the right thing, just kind of holding their ground. They're not just overexerting yet. It's if we can see Take Flight find this opening duel somewhere, that's when things get a little bit messy, right? Because now the rotates are going to come through. The positioning for the CT is just going to be all scattered. Good smoke going to be thrown onto Squeaky, so now allowing them to get into the side. And Fang, yeah, with his low HP, he's a dead man.
Wow, Take Flight. Although it looked a little rough at the beginning, have the man edge once more. And if you're the Party Astronauts, two players kind of split up here. I don't think there's much they can do to get back in, on top of the fact that there aren't any defuse kits. He's going to have a peek, and he gets punished for that. Headshot by Servo, and Infinite will just be saving at this point. So, Party Astronauts still can't get around on the board. Take Flight will take the 3-0 lead.
Yeah, this is good work coming in from Take Flight again, right? I mean, this is where we said Party Astronauts, a lot of reps on this map, but that just means more opportunity for Take Flight to, watch a couple demos, make some anti-strats, kind of know the gimmicks a little bit here for Party Astronauts, and it's starting to look like it's panning out well, right? I mean, this is a 3-0. They've been pretty dominant with, I think there was one round that was essentially down to the 1v1, but the money's flowing right now on the T side, all things considered. I mean, we've seen now 2 big force purchases on the CT side, so this round probably, I would imagine, just going to be the light, 5-7s. Oh, I see a CZ in there too. Okay, I'm all for it, Ben. Yeah, all right. Let's see what he's able to find with it.
Just realized, it happened. I made a mistake.
What's wrong,
I'm looking at the results here, and of course I was looking at the Take Flight results, not the one more results against the Party Astronauts. Yeah, it's okay. They're really similar, right? Except for the but we'll get back to it. Since he's going to get the opener here onto Seabass, J-Chance the immediate trade. Just going to be some upgrades here on the pistols for the Party Astronauts, along with the save FAMAS, and that save FAMAS is in a pretty good spot. Infinite does get away from the nade here. FAMAS in hand. 125 on the clock, and yeah, I'll talk about it because the two maps were a little bit different, right? Didn't go the distance on both of them. The first one was a 3-13 stomping by the Party Astronauts against Take Flight last season, and then on Anubis, 17-19 loss in overtime. So I mean, Take Flight, or previously One More Esports, have a lot of experience against these top teams, and I think it'll, well, I mean, hopefully for their sake, can build up into something a little bit special because last season was really rough for them.
Yeah, it really was. No, it definitely was. And no, it's pretty much the same kind of storyline a little bit with the games, like you said. But I mean, the fact that one game was such a stomp and the other one, went into the full distance like that, still not a bad thing to note. So right now they're sitting at a 3-0, and I mean, this is, on paper could be a 4-0 unless we see some kind of insane pistol round out of Party Astronauts here with a limited amount of investment. Infinite, though, he's able to find the double with the FAMAS, but they'll finally get eradicated. But it is back to a 2-2. Ben just kind of toying with the idea, just letting them know he's there. Plant should be able to get done, and it's going to be just on the edge of the smoke. Fang does get his Inspector Gadget arms. He's able to get this AK in his hands. He's got a full bullet chamber here, and now can he be able to find this connection in Zombie? Again, critically low on the HP. No defuse kit, but they both have armor. So this is going to be good for aim punch, but Ben has to be the one that's kind of the sacrifice in this situation. Doors going to close, a little bit of a spam. Ben's peeking his head a bit too much, but oh my goodness, John, what is going on? But Zombie, he actually comes through the back lines, takes him out. Down to Ben here with an AK. No longer for the world, and now Take Flight. It's looking pretty smooth.
I like the idea from the Party Astronauts to break open the door there and hope that they can connect with the frag, but once it doesn't materialize, great movement from Take Flight to surround them and put a lot of pressure on both players. Once Ben's teammate has fallen, he doesn't really have much to do except hope that he wins the fight in that 50-50 duel swinging around the corner and loses it immediately. So 4-0 in favor of Take Flight. Great start for them. But now the Party Astronauts have a full buy. It's going to be 4 A1Ss and the AWP for Wolfie. That AWP will be an important piece to watch here. Where is it going to post up? I believe we have him over in heaven. That makes sense, as he can cycle around from outside and the A site in that position. Ben going to be holding top hut with the A1S. Servo's going to try to challenge immediately. This is a very quick hit, and a good one, in fact. The molly is good, the flashes are good. 60 comes out with a couple of frags, but Take Flight, importantly, are getting the trades. That time, they won't, though. Wolfie getting the off shot onto J Chance, makes it a 3v2, even though he goes down to 3 HP. Great adjustment from Take Flight. They've looked really dynamic so far. They're already onto the B site.
Yeah, they still got plenty of time left too, right? I mean, they're just kind of posted up. They're trying to see if, you know, any of these CTs are just going to go for a quick rotate or look for a quick swing. But I like this. I mean, now Fang, he's just kind of, again, just getting a little bit of a peek here outside of Secret, just trying to see, you know, is anybody in yard? Realizing he hasn't been able to spot anything. So he knows that somebody could actually try to go for the flank against him right there. So this is really big brain work coming in from Fang. I like this. He's got a full read on the situation, playing his spot perfectly. Not overextending, just waiting things out, kind of peeking left and right, just making sure. But now you're down to 34 seconds. Now the jig is up. They have to get something done here. Utility is lackluster here, John.
Oh boy. All right. Take Flight. Getting that plant down. Zombie and Grave. Waiting. Actually, Zombie's hunting a little bit. The wrong way now. The timing in favor of Fang. That makes things a lot more difficult for Grave. 3v1. Does get an important first. And the trade doesn't come in just yet. Grave closing the door. All the advantage he could possibly get, but no, Infinite will find the headshot. Fang the defusal. Finally a round on the board for the Party Astronauts.
Yeah, you know, that's a tough situation because I don't know how I feel about it because I felt like in that situation, I think it was Zombie, like he kind of overextended himself, right? I mean, it put, you know, Grave in such a bad position because then he was essentially on a 1-on-3. He had to be able to find these, you know, isolated duels. It made it way more problematic. Like, I get the idea he was trying to, you know, instigate to bringing him back to a 2-and-2, and then he probably would have fell back, but it's risky in that situation though. And that's why, right? I mean, they lost that round. If he would have just stayed alive, it really could have turned things around differently.
Yeah, I think one thing that's always on players' minds, especially in Counter-Strike 2, is if you get stagnant, you stand still for too long, you become a ripe target. And holding angles is a lot more difficult, right? So I get the idea of trying to move around, trying to take the fights and the initiative in the post plants, but I do agree with you at the same time that I think he just overstepped a little too far by going out towards the vents and could have hung back a little bit and supporting his teammate, who was tucked pretty well. Anyway, on to this round. Fang gets the opener here, spraying down Seabass. 5v4. Favor of the Party Astronauts. Ben is right on top of the silos on the A side. He's waiting for that hit to come through, and it absolutely does. It's a great spot to punish. Ben gets the headshot despite being blinded, throws the smoke onto the Molotov. It is all Party Astronauts here, very quickly getting a second round victory.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking, you know, for Ben's sake too, I was like, look, like he had the right idea too. He was playing on the top silo, like you said. He was kind of waiting for it. He got caught with the flashbang. I was like, oh no. And then he even backpedaled into the molly. I was like, oh, this is just going to fall apart. But thankfully, he was able to react to it pretty well. I think he was able to find himself that double in that round. So just able to lock it down as much as possible. Just staying alive, it makes such a difference, right? Just because those rotates can get in quickly, it makes it more problematic for the T's. And now we're finally going to see Take Flight a little bit lighter on the purchase here. A couple Deegs, maybe P250. Fang once again, he's in big garage. We'll see what he's going to be able to get in the sale, but now it's going to be the double, maybe a little bit more. He's getting the reload. He wants to get a more of a highlight reel. Why not? And now should be a done and dusted round. And just like that, John, we're right back at it to a 4-3.
Yeah, now it's the Party Astronauts really starting to find their rhythm. And not to mention, that was an anti-eco, but Fang reloading after getting 2, goes for the follow-up, and then a flashbang thrown. I can't remember by who it was thrown by, but still it was a great one because it opened up all that space to flush out the last player who couldn't see a thing for Take Flight. So 3 in a row for the Party Astronauts. That lead, as you mentioned, evaporates, and 3 AKs still up for PA as well, along with that economic foundation, which is so critical to build up on CP side, especially in MR12, is very strong here for PA. Fang finds another one here after Servo drops Wolfie. Infinite. Oh, just talked into the cubby. He's got support from Fang. This is such good news for the Party Astronauts to see Fang up to 9 frags. And when he's a very streaky player, right? When he starts playing well on a map, it tends to carry through for the entirety of it.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up, John, because that's 100% true, right? I mean, he really is a streaky player. So when he's feeling it, he is feeling it. And right now, he is top fragging on the team. He's looking really, really good. I love that control that him and Infinite went for, like him just playing behind red. Infinite was able to push really close into blue box. That was a really nice way for them just to get control of that, putting a little bit more aggression on outside control, which they haven't really done before. I mean, they've just let Fang kind of just sit back in garage. He's been successful, but they're mixing it up. And now even look at Ben in a strong position. He's clearing things out. His timing's just a little bit off, unfortunately, but at least he's getting some good intel. Now we can at least communicate. I think these guys might have got themselves in lobby. 60 didn't quite get the memo. Now Fang trying to look for a little bit more. Will be able to find Zombie right in the corner of it. Now Kevin by himself on a 1-on-3 attempt. Should be able to get the bomb down. But John, I don't know how I feel about this with little utility in his pocket.
Yeah, I mean, Grave, definitely, like you said, bomb going to be planted. Needs a quick frag here. Oh, that flashbang. Oh, it's beautiful. Ben Leet helping Fang secure his 4th frag of the round. Unbelievable stuff from him. As the party astronauts, speaking of 4s, they're going to be tied up at that number heading into the next round. And Take Flight are probably kicking themselves a little bit. Felt like they had an opportunity to go through there and get that new site, but there's not really much you can do because the utility was so on point.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up the flashbang too, because honestly, that's the one thing that's really fun to watch about Ben, right? Like he is that IGL, he's the utility guy, and honestly, just that flash alone, like that won them the round, right? That guaranteed the round because Grave was fully blind. He had no idea what to do, and you could see he was trying to move, but he was just, I think he even got caught on the side a little bit too. So it was pretty much a free kill, which makes such a difference, and you gotta love to see it.
Yeah, and I mean, that's one piece that Ben will bring to any team he's on, is he throws the most flashbangs, 0.71 over the last 60 maps played, or last 3 months, that is, for the squad here, and his, I think his success rate, number of players flashed per round, I would say, is 0.77. So that's really, really good.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, like the old ramp crunch. Oh, that nade. Oh, good grief. That's real thick. That's a thick one. Now Fang again just looking for more highlight reels. He's able to get at least the 2, but the consolation actually comes in here for Take Flight. They had the man advantage, not anymore, but at least Servo now does have the op in hand. A unique position though underneath. Might be able to find this. Might be able to find the timing on Infinite. Oh, but it looks like he might just skirt away. Now Infinite has a really good idea on this. Servo in a terrible position. Yeah, Infinite's got the information, so him and Ben just can play together. They have control of the bomb, and I don't know, Servo, like there's lots of time, but it might be just worth saving it.
Just a correction to that stat, it's 0.77. Yeah, sorry, I was looking at it. I was getting mad at myself.
Okay. I was gonna say, I said he's gonna save it, but yeah, he doesn't want it. He wants to go for it, and he's a dead man. So you know what? That's okay. We were both a little wrong, and
no, I was just gonna say it's 0.77. I think it's man, I keep forgetting. Average flashed opponents per flashbang thrown. That stat is always a little bit of a tongue twister for me, so there you go. But anyway, he's good with flashbangs. Do we have to get any further? No, we don't. Party Astronauts, speaking of being good, 5 in a row, and they've got the lead up against Take Flight, and it will be Take Flight back on the AKs and the AWP. 4 AKs and the big green. On the other side, Party Astronauts still have one of those AKs available to them. Wolfie, he is sniping, waiting, watching from secret.
Yeah, good mix-up for him too. Like you said, he hasn't really been in this position before. A strong angle, but J-Chance was thinking maybe. Oh, but Wolfie actually goes for a different fight. He will win it, but it's only a 1 though. So I mean, it's kind of a 1 in an instant trade. Infinite though, nice little bit of a pickup as well. And now you can just see the M4s are singing, man. These guys are just finding the stride. They're looking really, really good. We talked about, Fang being streaky. I think Party Astronauts are the one that's being streaky, is now they're putting themselves in a conversation for even a 6 on the board.
Yeah, I mean, 4 rounds are still good for T-side, even if Take Flight doesn't get anything else here on Nuke, which is notoriously CT-sided. Not as much as it used to be, as I like to say, but still. It's hard to crack through that defense. Zombie and Grave are going to try to do that. They find some space into ramp, but I think it's a trap. It's a trap. Infinite's waiting there, gets 1, and then the trade is there immediately as Infinite has dropped. Fang finds his 2nd on the round. I think that's maybe his 4th or 5th multi-kill round. Probably more than that, honestly.
Yeah.
But 138 ADR as well, 15 and 5. And the Party Astronauts are benefiting from that in terms of round victory. 6 in a row.
Yeah, this is impressive, right? I mean, this is always one of the things too. Like for Take Flight, they're having such a good streak in the beginning with the 4-0, and this is a hard thing to come back from, right? I mean, you've lost 6 rounds in a row. These rounds, honestly, are getting a bit more spaced out, where Party Astronauts are winning them pretty convincingly for the most part. So that's something Take Flight also have to kind of digest in this, as well as the fact that they were making this competitive and close, and now these rounds seem like they're kind of getting away from them.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And this one, it's a half buy that's actually not too shabby in terms of the buy-up, but Fang, now with the AK in his hands, hits another headshot. Grave and Servo are once more going to look for room in towards ramp. Wolfie connects, falls back into the B site. He's got support as well from Infinite in admin. Infinite peeking around, keeps them away. He's got the information, and Wolfie ends up getting overloaded. Ben is there to get one, but Servo finds the trade there. Fang is the snake in the grass. He's got 13 HP, but they haven't cleared control yet. He's going to clear around. There's a freebie. I think he might have seen the head of Servo. I'm not sure, but Servo's limping along at 4 HP. Sees the barrel of the AK come around the corner from double doors. 48 seconds left for him. He's just trying to hang out there. He needs to grab the bomb and plant it, but it's just so tough because the frag is critical and he won't get it at all. There's so little he can do in that circumstance as 60 finds the last.
Yeah, and I don't know if Fang did see him or maybe did, but like I love the fact that he just kind of posted up there anyways to, again, just keeping the composure, and that's all that they needed to do. And I'm a little bit questioning that plant spot as well. Like they just kind of forgot that the window is there, or like radio's there. Like, oh yeah, you can kill me from there. I guess that is a thing. And it just felt like something they could have just pushed a little bit more in the sight. But either way, for Party Astronaut fans, they're going to feel pretty good about that one. And last round of the first half, John. And honestly, for Party Astronauts, if they can get themselves 8 in a row, that is going to feel mighty good. And just kind of like that op shot, it's going to even feel better.
Yeah, I mean, Wolfie hasn't necessarily had that many frags, but that's an important one for him to get. And then 60 follows it up with one onto Grave. 2 players gone in the first 20 seconds of the round for Take Flight. Fang pressing the issue from Secret. It's not really being watched. Wolfie's attracting so much attention. Another frag for him. Servo and Zombie are trapped. Servo manages to get one onto Fang. And the follow-up on 60. Spamming through the smoke, but Wolfie collects a third scalp. This time it's Servo. Only Zombie left. Position known. It wouldn't surprise me if Party Astronauts just close down in on him and shut the door right in his face. Zombie coming around. I think he was spotted at this point. Yep, they're spamming away. There it is. Infinite the last. Party Astronauts 8 in a row to send us to the halftime break. All right, we're back here. Second half of action on Nuke. Party Astronauts with a pretty commanding lead heading into the second half, but we can't forget that, of course, this is very CT-sided on Nuke. That being said, Party Astronauts could take control early on here with a pistol round victory, and after that, it'll be much more difficult for Take Flight to get back into this.
Yeah, long road though, right? I mean, this is the thing where they gotta persevere through, losing 8 rounds in a row. Now they gotta have to do something a little bit bold and brave, and looks like they are. They're actually gonna fight for this lobby control. They get it. 6E. Oh, gets an easy kill,
Jeez.
man. That's just filthy with a Glock too. Okay, but look, he's gonna get a little taste of it as well. These pistols, man, they are just one-shot wonders right now. Servo, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, why not? He's just trying to cook up a little bit of a triple. The CTs, they finally get something connected, and now Take Flight. They bring things back to a fifth.
Yeah, that's honestly not too shabby for Take Flight. Getting that pistol round, it was very back and forth, but it's so crazy, honestly, how quickly pistol rounds can swing in one direction or the other, because there's no head armor, and those pistol headshots can be so lethal, especially from close range with the Glock. Having 20 rounds almost feels like too much in its power, but in that case, the USPs did reign supreme, of course. All right. So a 3-round deficit, and the Party Astronauts do not force up. They didn't get the bomb plants. They say, okay, let's just keep the pistols up. 3 Deagles, P250, and Ben sticking with the good old Glock. Zombie peering over towards Secret. Smoking to get tossed there. Seabass the opener. Should be a pretty standard anti-eco here for Take Flight. Be surprised if they were too fussed at all here.
Yeah, this should be a bit of a cleanup, and I mean, not much to expect here with the pistol. Maybe just get a couple kills if they can, just to burn some money here for the CT side, but not looking great. Infinite does find himself a little one and done, but not really going to be too much to sweat about, and Take Flight now bringing 2 in a row. Money is on the board, so, I mean, again, this is an opportunity for the Gleals. Yeah, they're coming in right now. AK is going to be complemented with it as well, and Ben kind of in a funny spot with 4,700. Should have enough for full utility with his AK, and there it's going. And there we go. Yeah, this is a big round because, I mean, if Take Flight can find this, I mean, this is definitely a conversation right back into a tie game, especially with that deficit that we were talking about an 8-4.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, with the rifles up, the Party Astronauts have looked like the better team compared to Take Flight, so we'll see if that continues to be the case here as they switch sides. Seabass patiently waiting outside here, around the edge of the yes, he gets away. No trade comes through. He's taking all that space off of it, and Ben's just staring over towards lockers. Smoke to fade, and he does eventually find the trade. So that's important for the Party Astronauts. It gives them a lot of space gain. They're moving their way in towards Secret. Servo's waiting here in decon, which could be problematic should they choose to go in that direction. And in fact, it's only Wolfie who's holding for rotations at this point. The rest of the squad is still trying to maneuver themselves towards that A site.
Yeah, and I like the fact that the Astronauts, again, they have some players. I think that 60, he's going to creep through onto Hell. He's looking around a little bit, get himself into this heaven position. That's going to be really, really, really strong here. Just kind of posted up with the bomb as well, just, again, waiting things out. Still just under a minute remaining on this. So, again, doing a little bit of Dora the Explorer on this, just to, evaluating what options they have. But now you can see even Take Flight playing very passive in this 4-4. Time is ticking, though, and this is where Party Astronauts, again, they have to make a move. They can't wait too long here because they have to expect something. J-Chance does get spotted here. Oh, and Infinite does get a little bit of a spam, gets that kill as well. This is important, but now look at Servo. He's trying to get a little bit too quick through the vents. He's going to get taken out. Ben's able to find himself a couple kills so far in this round. John, this is looking good now for the Astronauts.
Yeah, that's a really good pinch there from Mini for the Party Astronauts. Got both players that were trying to retreat before they had a chance to have much of an impact on the round. Now Grave and Zombie, I think, going for a save, but on top of T-Roof. If Zombie goes up there, he will be in for a very rude surprise and rude awakening. Infinite waiting here on the top of Hut. Grave just saving. So it will be a save for Take Flight. Party Astronauts going to get a 9th on the board as soon as the rifles come out. It's kind of the same story as we saw in that first half. Oh, Grave a chance to punish. There we go. Finds one onto Infinite. Throws the nade out for anyone that might be close, but no one is. And now it's just about the guns to handle both sides. Wolfie actually goes down to that bomb. The bomb radius is crazy here on Nuke. And well, that means only 2 guns get moved over to the next round, meaning the economy is actually kind of precarious for PA despite the round victory.
Yeah, and it's a really good point you brought up, and I'm glad you did about the whole thing about party astronauts. You know, on the rifle rounds, they look a lot more polished. They look a lot better because that was the one thing I was really impressed with. You know, from Take Flight is the fact that they've been 2-0 so far in these pistols, right? In this game, like that's where they really get themselves a little bit more of that kickstart for these rounds. But it's when they come down to the gun rounds that seems to be a little bit of the demise. So still a very close game, obviously. As MP9 here for Zombie, but we'll see what's going to be a little bit different. Double SMGs, or double MAC-10s, I should say, here for Party Astronauts as well. So I don't actually hate this, too, especially on the T side. You can be a little bit more aggro. You can have those guys kind of, you know, poke and prod a little bit, being the entry, and kind of allow those, you know, rifles to sit back a little bit more and find some big trades and things like that. But this round's a little bit different in the sense of just the pacing, and even Fang now, with the smoke wall, he's actually going to try to use this in his advantage, but his positioning is just not the greatest. But 60 at least is going to be able to find that double. Now the Party Astronauts trying to make a statement into this inner sight. I don't know if they're going to commit to it. Yeah, why not?
What?
Oh, dear God, John. Get me out.
Oh, Wolfie. Sprouting wings there with the MAC-10. Grave comes through, gets one, and the follow-up as well. They can't find him. Grave sneaks in from heaven, and Wolfie and Sixy were thinking he must have been coming from another direction. Okay, Take Flight, pull the rug out from under the Party Astronauts, get a 7th for themselves, and because of the fact only 2 players survived in that previous round, now they're not going to have the money to really invest, I would say, as much as they'd like anyway, but they're going to force up regardless. It won't be the best because you have to settle for 2 Tech 9s, but they do have 2 AKs and the Galil. It's the 4 spy words, which is kind of a staple of Nuke, I would say.
Yeah, that was huge. Like, I just still can't believe like Grave got in that position. I don't know if there maybe it was a miscomm, but you can just see like their backs were turned, man. They, like you said, they definitely thought that he was somewhere else, but either way, I mean, Take Flight fans are going to be really, really happy for this one. It's a nice little bit of a pickup. Kind of an interesting buy in the sense of this with the bomb going down as well, or not going down, but still with that leftover cash, I should say. Now they're just going to commit towards secret. So actually, instead of kind of just, you know, going slow, they're going to put a little bit more decision-making on this and a little bit more diligence. Seabass, tough position to be in with the MP9 and not an easy shot. That nade might be able to do some decent damage. Fang, he gets a full amount of lead into his teeth. Now he's still kind of, again, playing a very interesting position, but look at 60. He's able to find himself 2 already.
So good on T side. Finally, Fang. Actually, no, it's not 60. I was going to say finally 60 goes down, but it's Fang that gets dropped. And then Wolfie to Zombie. So a man advantage gained as the bomb is being planted there by the Party Astronauts. Infinite and 60, the last 2 standing. And 60, we've been singing his praises. He's got all 3 frags in this round. He's going to need a couple more, perhaps, by his hand. Infinite rotating in. He's so exposed here. 60 gone. Infinite hoping to hang on here with only the Tech 9. The smoke gets tossed onto the bomb, and his head gets rolled across the floor there by Seabass's AK bullets. Alrighty, Take Flight, a couple in a row, an 8th round picked up, and this is slowly becoming anyone's game.
Yeah, it really is. And this is the thing, too, is like you said, 60 is the one that's kind of turning it up now since the second half, but you know, we were talking in a lot of praise for Fang in the beginning of the first half, like, or the end of the first half. He was doing really well. He was pushing big numbers, but now it's starting to slow down, right? That motor ain't running so hot anymore. So this is where we were saying, like, we need those other players to kind of step up a little bit for Party Astronauts. Obviously, having 60 kind of, you know, finding these doubles is going to be a big contribution for it, but for Party Astronaut fans, we're going to need a little bit more out of this because now we're talking a 1-round differential. This is going to be a lighter purchase here for the Party Astronaut. They're just going to try to run and gun this a little bit differently. Turbo might be able to serve himself a decent amount of kills. There's going to be some players down vent, so that's going to be good here. This should be able to get the bomb plant money done and dusted, so that's a good little bit of a guarantee.
Yeah, they continue to get the bomb, which is great. 8 frags, though. There's another one. Fang gets a critical frag, and almost another onto, I think it was Grave, but actually, in terms of damage done, Seabass takes down both players trying to get back into that B site. Wolfie and 60, and Infinite, the last one standing. Now they're just going to try and stick to the defuse with the spam comes through, they line up, and almost Infinite going to try and clutch it out, but it doesn't happen. Brave Kevin survives. And Take Flight tied up at 9. But again, bomb plant after bomb plant is keeping this economy rolling here. Timeout going to be called by PA.
Yeah, honestly, these rounds are looking a little bit chaotic for me. I mean, that was if Infinite would have been able to find that double. I mean, again, it would have been hard to know the situation, obviously, but man, oh man, that could have just turned this whole table around. But now we're back to a tie game. First timeout, I think, from both these teams going to be called. So this is really interesting because now with the bomb plants just coming in, like you said, the money is flowing a little bit that way, which is a really good thing right now for the T side. But they got to figure out what they got to do a little bit differently. I did like the, a little bit more aggression that they were trying, a little bit more of that, diligent thinking, but we need to see something different. There is no op that's going to be on the CT side as well. So this is going to be, they won't have this read, but they should have a decent inkling that, the rounds are way too close to have that investment, but we'll see if they want to play a little bit differently, knowing that, they don't have to worry about the big green.
Yeah, and also, speaking of which, they've done a lot of damage to Take Flight round after round, despite the fact that Take Flight has gotten so many in a row. It's not great for their economy, so things can quickly crumble away with only one round loss if they continue to lose these bodies, right? Especially right here. So this is, I think, one of the most critical rounds for both squads. Seabass. In, and actually Ben and Infinite get a couple. Look at Fang too. He's on a full-on flank. He doesn't know it. Actually, he's the one who goes down. No way. Seabass finds two right after Grave does. And now it's all down to 60. How is it so quickly falling apart for the Party Astronauts? Again, a very close round. And 60 could potentially isolate two 1v1s for himself. But my goodness, this is insane.
Yeah, that's definitely one word to use here, John, for sure. And I mean, this is the situation where Party Astronauts, it looked like it was in the palm of their hands, and all it took was Seabass to be able to find himself that double. And this thing is, once again, just really flipped around. Oh, dear God, Graves' head's going to get exposed. And now 60 able to get this 1-on-1, gets the bomb as well. So now this is even worse because 60...
Look at the timing.
Oh my God, he's going to be able to get the back servo. No way. No way does 60 find that, and he does. Oh, that's filthy.
This is incredible, right, for the Party Astronauts. You were talking about another player stepping up, or more players stepping up. 60 seems to be the one that has really started to perform well on T-side. And like I said, he loves going for entries. He loves opening up space, and that's one of his strengths. And on the other side for Fang, he tends to be pretty good on CT side, even T-side as well. I don't want to take anything away from him, but he slowed down here, and 60 has picked up the baton from him, and resulting in a 10th round victory, which was very critical for them. As I also talked about, Laz, no money for Take Flight because of how close all these rounds are.
Oh boy. Yeah, this is an opportunity right now for Party Astronauts at least get a little bit of a lead. So, I mean, they're going to go right back for a deeper smoke wall on this. And this is a triple smoke. I really, really like this. One on top of the mini and then just the double just to complement it. And instead of just committing to Secret right away, they're just waiting to see if any, pesty CTs want to get a little bit of aggro through this. Now they're finally going to commit to Secret. I think that's Servo. Yeah, Servo just on the other side of this wall, just kind of waiting things out. But this is the thing, like on a map like Nuke, like pistols are, I feel like they're more lethal, right? Just because there's a lot more close encounters, except for Yard, obviously. Seabass. Oh, John. Okay, he's fine. Yeah, he survives.
He's okay. He gets away. Ben. The door, Grave does, and he gets a headshot. In fact, Seabass is the one to find it. 60 immediate trade and the follow-up, getting things right back under control against those 5-7s. There's still the deagle up for J-Chance, but it feels like the have improved their odds. As I say that, J-Chance and Servo get two more. This one's far from over. Wolfie slipping back into cover behind the silo. Infinite spots out a player as well, and he gets tagged for a little bit of damage. They need another frag for themselves on the PA side. Otherwise, Take Flight's going to tie this one up once more. Infinite getting chipped away at, but he does find the headshot onto J-Chance and will plant the bomb to dirt. Servo, last one standing, won't get anything, Laz. 11-9 for PA.
Ooh-wee. Okay, well, again, like, I love that Infinite was able to get the double. 60, he's just been the saving grace, man. He really, really has. Like, he's just been getting them out of bad situations, countless times on this, and that was a really good attempt from Take Flight. They made that very, very close, and it was just unfortunate. I think J-Chance was the player that was on ramp. He was kind of jiggling, just trying to see if he could win a fight really quickly. His head got a little bit too exposed, and he gets removed, right? So as soon as you lose that player, it just makes it, like, the percentage just goes way less for you, favorable to win that. So once again, the CTs have to put the pistols back on the board again, Joe. So this is a tough pill to swallow once again. But look at this is the aggression I was talking about. Seabass, he's a smoke criminal. He's just going to run right through it.
I mean, Approaching those smokes, it's working out. But on the other side, the party astronauts. Oh, look at the damage taken, actually. There's two players that are getting kind of low. Ben lead hovering around half health and 60 at 23 HP. They are going to move their way into B. So maybe they'll be able to get this done regardless, but it is problematic, especially with Seabass having this AK in a perfect position in observation. Oh no! Ben Lee cleans his clock and then goes down. Doesn't realize Servo's down there. Oh my goodness, more chaos into this round. Infinite does get the immediate trade now. 60 will calm things down almost to the finish line. You see the Deagle still ringing through for a ton of damage, and this is not on the realm of possibility, lads.
No, it's definitely not. I mean, all it's going to take is, one bullet from both these players. They're both so low. 10 HP and 23. Wolfie here with sitting pretty here with 95. But again, all we have to do, they just have to play these positions. 60, yeah, you know what? 60's just going to keep swinging. He's like, look, I'm feeling it, boys. I know what I'm doing. And now they're on map point, and this is huge. I mean, this is where we were talking. It was neck and neck. These rounds are getting a little bit of a brawl sesh, but now take Flyte. They have a long road ahead of them here with each gun round so important, and it's do or die now.
Yeah, I think that round that 60 pulled off at 9-9 in the 1v2 was the critical one. That was the tipping point to give the edge to the party astronauts. Like you mentioned, though, take Flyte. I mean, they have a chance here with the rifles. 3 M4s top and the MP9 available to them. 3 in a row just to tie this one up and send it to overtime. Fang. Throw that Molotov out. Seabass gets sent down for a little bit of damage from the nade, and the opening frag actually goes take Flyte's place. Servo just spamming the smoke, connects onto Infinite. He's going to try and help his teammate towards counter guard. Look at that mess of smokes both teams have to deal with. Seabass tries to wide swing it. That doesn't work. Ben Lee gets the headshot. Now they spotted out another player, I believe in Garage, but Servo manages to retreat.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah.
This has been an interesting turn of events, but I mean, again, the op's still in the play though. This is, we haven't been able to talk a lot about it, but I want to see what J Chance can find. Nothing. He's not going to find anything. He said he's going to get taken out. Okay, now the AKs, they're making connections. Now this is where take Flyte. They're going to get a bit more desperate. Now this is where they're going to poke and prod a little bit more to see if they can find. Then Leet. Oh no, yeah, he's just stumbling his way down the ladder.
It was a case of timing. Honestly, if Ben had just continued holding the angle, he would have gotten an easy frag from above. Instead, he moves away from the that player slips through. Zombie, in the meantime, also gets him onto 60. Spamming through the hut, gets Wolfie taken down to 38 HP. They do manage to make their way towards the B site, I believe. I don't know if it's the bomb carrier. Bang waiting around the lobby. That is an important frag, but he has to get into the B site to help his team, because if he doesn't, Graves going to have a free defusal if he gets the frag. Flashbang throw, no frag! Wolfie, the headshot, gets 2 important ones as the party astronauts take a 13-9 win here on Nuke.
Man, oh man. I mean, again, like, that's where you don't get to see Wolfie on the rifle very much, but yeah, he was looking pretty good. Right at the end there, he was able to find himself that double, and party astronauts a bit more grindy of a Nuke match. This is where we said, in terms